gentlemen. I'm sorry to cut you off because you can see round number 2 is about to get underway. Lots of duos action to come today. We've got 7 rounds to get through. Let's get through this one.
7 rounds, and we start round 2 looking around Pleasant and Loot Lake, because this is one of the areas we want to track from our leaders, Zayd, Saf, and we anticipate Mitro and Kuna to be around Loot Lake as well. That's one of their normal drop spots, so we want to watch this fight. A massive, important part of this is we're on with Milan and Smeef. They're in a bit of a firefight. There are 2 other duos around, and Milan gets caught from above as the Brazilian team are dropping in. History takes a lot of damage, but he does end up getting the knockdown on Milan to begin this. History, however, is about 1 health in that box. If he could have got that elimination, that would have made it a lot easier for him. And now, I think that he gets covered by Far, and Far is able to pick one off. That instantly gives them that exchange.
These are aggressive players, they will not let them leave. And look at this, by going down to River, they basically gave Nick Mercs and Aiden the high ground here, so putting them in kind of an awkward spot.
You can see Nick Mercs did just spot something in the distance that made him want to move, and now Aiden is putting the pressure on with that stink bomb. Nick Mercs moves in at the same time, and Vitality Keolis manages to switch direction on them. SMG does spray into that wood, and Aiden can't quite find the angle yet.
The awareness here is just great. Look at this, working together as a team. Just try to lose the side run, though.
Over the top, though, goes Excalibur. And Nick Mercs has taken a pause on this one for now. Keolis does have that Rift to go as well. This is a pretty solid inventory. You've got that AR, you've got the damage, does get damage in response, but down to 24 health. Aiden did get dropped from that Keolis. They can't quite push for the final part of this elimination, and Nick Mercs is going to guard for now. Oh, does get the first shot off against Excalibur, but that's Aiden and Nick Mercs out of this game, as Keolis will be able to res, and a bunch of other players. As you can see, Nick Mercs and Aiden out of this game. Not many other players. Mushway has fallen, Margin's gone. Our second place from Solo, so a big elimination early on against him. Excalibur in a little bit of a firefight here, tries to get the replace, or at least the floor underneath him, does get it, but doesn't connect exactly as he wanted before. It's Ryux that is around here as Excalibur is trying to just pick up anything that he can. Dangerous at it at that point. It's kind of peeking over the wall. Didn't get punished for it.
But where is his teammate? I know he's still alive, but he's nowhere to be seen. This is just a 1v1 at this point.
Yeah, where is Keolis? Did they like have a miscommunication on a rift or something? Because Keolis had a rift to go earlier.
I mean, they do have 3 eliminations, so they might just be, hey, let's split up. Let's get as many eliminations as we can. Ooh, beautiful shot.
Good shot from the low ground from Ryux. Trying to find that elimination here, or at least it would be a down and then he could get it. But there's a redeploy out from Excalibur to say, no, I'm getting away from this fight.
You know, I would expect them to kind of finish up the fight here because time is of the essence as...
Oh, he's trying to cannon himself! You gotta put yourself in... What?
But there's not
trying to get
time.
there.
Yeah.
That's sad. If it had a few more seconds, he might have been able to get it. The desperation cannon play. About 8 duos on our screen here. Awax and Nikov still alive in this game. But again, we're not into placement points here as the Vic gets taken down by 7SSK7 and Jam side. So teamwork makes the dream work for them. They're picking up an elimination. It does give you a benefit of getting to the late game, but we have seen, like in the solos yesterday, Margin mix it up all the time and come out very well for it as well. So it's that clash of player styles.
Yeah, if anything, it makes you unpredictable, and if you can decide to drop somewhere else, you know, it just shows what kind of good player you are. If you can just decide to, hey, I'm gonna drop here, I'm gonna drop here, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and so making its way into the 5th circle here just shortly.
Bizzle and Demo still in this one. They're above the threshold for Storm Surges. Faxfox gets taken out by Poach. That's a big pickup as damage from that high ground. Mitro and Kuna are here. Mitro in second place. We've got the X2 twins at the top of your screen, up at the back. Nero is there with Tajovsky. We've got the Brazilian duo managed to make it out of that situation alive for 72 hours. And he does get dropped by Aspect. Aspect trying to keep himself alive as Aspect. His duo has been dropped for now. You can hear everything. There's a trap. There's explosives coming through. This is such a tricky position for Aspect as he's trying to build his way out of this. 72 hours drops off the cliff to try and stay alive. And for a moment, Aspect gets a little bit of respite.
I mean, a lot of third partying going on. As soon as you see someone being shot at, there's a lot of teams that will want to take advantage of it, maybe snag an elimination.
Two twins getting pushed by the Brazilian duo, and Jesse has gone down. Is that both of them eliminated? I don't see Jordan anymore. Looks like they are both gone, as Saf has picked up one elimination in this game. They were our points leaders coming out of game one after that victory royale.
Still in this end game, inventory looking pretty good. He does have a pump, he has a blue SMG, one mobility item, but in this area that might not be what you really want. I mean, obviously you want mobility. You always want mobility. Jamside here on a very high ground, a bit risky. Might have a redeploy though, so you might feel a bit safe.
Poach and Vivid just keeping themselves along the safe area of the map.
Opens the little supply drop here, but won't get the loot. Looks like it ended up on the outside, so takes a little bit of damage here from the stink nades, but Saf and Safe still in it.
Yeah, trying to just get any more eliminations. Still 29 duos remain in this game, so there are a few solos sticking around, and nobody's on the top side of this zone by the lagoon yet. Nobody has moved to the north. It's such open land, or sorry, not the lagoon, those kind of oasis pits that are on the map. Zate just took down Aspect.
A lot of more European teams here in the end game, which is really nice to see.
More so than in game one for sure, and Keenstar's one of the guys that we have our eyes on. Look at where this zone moves. It's up and over the water. As part of the movement here, it's going to make it tricky. Eric just getting an elimination for himself. Big performance in one of his first real competitive situations.
And Blacks are just all alone on the north side of the circle, as all these players are just in a brawl here, trying to score some eliminations before we start moving, and here we go.
Jamside with 5 eliminations already in this game. The Russian player has 2 Rift to goes as well. Like, what is this? This is like such a monster game from 7 SSK7 and Jamside.
And you can hear so many gliders now. People are just reusing the existing launch pads, recycling. There's a lot of action going on, actually. You know, when you're up there flying around, you're in a pretty bad spot as well, because a lot of players will try to fire upon you. High ground going down there.
Nero does end up falling, as the 7 SSK7 did just get dropped too. Zate and Saf are our leaders that we're following on. Some important eliminations, and they start to tick down as Myth just picked up Vivid in the kill feed. That's a big clash of names in the scene, and look, Myth and Cloud still alive on the left side. I think they might be surprising people in this.
Yeah, Jamside just used a rift to save himself from falling down from high ground. I just love that good reaction time. Bissell going down.
Bissell fell, but Vinny and Zexro still alive. They were one of the duos that we said could very well take this entire thing. And Myth and Cloud from the sky is trying to drop back down. They've got to go past the Brazilian duo at the top of History and Far. As Cloud, look at him take shield damage and just drops through. And good timing for History to keep himself alive up on this high ground.
Not a lot of mats here, so I'd like to see them maybe drop down and get a bit more aggressive here, or use some existing buildings to their advantage. A lot of players on low ground just dropping like flies right now. Fuexi going down.
Yeah, Fuexi gone down. Razuru was knocked as well, as there is the elimination. Cloud gets knocked down. Beehive picking up a bunch, as does Cripper at this point. And Zate trying to build up, does get Fuexi in that situation.
Coffin BF just down though. Coffin BF just going ham. They have about 6 eliminations right now. And on top of the placement points, that's a lot of points to rack up.
Far and History all the way at the top of this zone, as Jamside and SSK7 are trying to get down. That vent pops him back up and allows him to reposition. Will get into another position. The trap, however, does activate. Where is it? We didn't see it actually get put down.
Jamside, the only person on high ground right now, is all the other players.
And History got dropped at the bottom here. Beehive taking a lot of damage. There's pop rockets going off everywhere. Nobody can hear a thing, but there are 5 eliminations between Vinny and Zexro as we're down to 7 players. Vinny and Zexro both in pretty good situation here, although they are on the low ground. It's Coffee, Beehive, Jamside, Vinny, Zexro, and Sky still alive on this one, as Beehive is eliminated from this game. Vinny gets Coffee down to 4. 3 duos remain, and it's a 2v1v1 as Jamside trying to find any kind of angle that he can on this fight. Surely this has to be Zexro and Vinny's to lose at this point. The only duo that remains, but they don't have the high ground. Jamside takes a lot of damage. Good trade from Vinny. It's now a 2 versus 1 as Jamside has fallen. Where is Skite? He can't survive. Gets taken out. Vinny picks up the victory royale with Zexro.
graphic that's hovering just over the audience dangerously. Vinny and Zexro, they're obviously taking home first place there with 145 points. In second place there, Zayt and Saf, they made it towards the end game once more. But third place, my boys, Tomo and Iam. Come on.
Tomo and Iam coming up. We haven't even really seen them in the game so far, and they're already in third place. This is how volatile the standings can be. You can see Jamslide and SSK7 jumping up with their solid performance that we saw again. So really just this is going to keep shifting for at least the next few games.
Yeah, and Aspect and Animal in that top 10 as well.
Yep.
They were kind of one of the duos we were talking about before anything got started just a few days ago, about players to keep an eye on, players who are going to impress, because they've been talked about a lot in the scene.
Far in history, doing pretty well as well. At 13th right now, they've been in the mix both games, and they're actually pretty good, I think, at establishing that high ground and then taking fights. A couple of situations where they just lost out.